Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So here we are again with yet another painting. I hear you all groan, oh my god, not another one. Okay, so this one is 1993, 17th of January 1993, and it's a watercolour. I was still in watercolour mode back then. As you can see, pretty abstract piece here. I know somebody's going to ask me what was the inspiration for this. People seem to love to ask artists what's their inspiration for things, and to be honest, I've not got the faintest idea. I guess the nearest I could say is like me, sometimes if I see something visually, it strikes a chord with me, or it kind of plant a shape in my brain. It's mainly subconscious really, and then I might go on to reproduce a similar kind of shape in the design, but it's not intentional. So a lot of the things that I draw and what I paint are really just, I won't say random, but they just can't really explain it, to be honest. Sometimes I see shapes, I see paintings that I've yet to do in my head, in my dreams. And sometimes I'll sit down and make a note about them, not very often, but I really do have a very strong instinct of what I want to paint when I start a painting. So it's not something I've ever had a problem with or ever sit down and kind of mull over. So anyway, so with this particular painting, I think I wanted to create something with like a kind of a movement. I quite like movement in paintings, and I wanted kind of like a spinning effect. So we kind of got two kind of equals and opposites on this. I kind of wanted different rotations on this, and that kind of also links into the fact that you find a lot of artists also, I'm not particularly good, but have an interest in mathematics. Now mathematics does tend to link into art quite strongly, in that I like to have things kind of well balanced. I do, most times I'll do it by eye. Sometimes I will actually measure stuff, but not very often. So 9 times out of 10, if I'm doing something like this, I just kind of balance it up by eye. And I think the way the brain works, sometimes if you have something too perfect, it doesn't look right. And that's why I'm really not a huge fan of computer graphics and things like that, because I don't like perfection. I like something to have a bit of a quirk or a bit of a slant, and that goes with music. I listen to a lot of music as well when I'm painting, and I have to say I can tell when I'm listening to a piece of music, and people think I'm nutty here, but I can actually tell if a piece of music is like digital or whether it's actual instruments, a live recording kind of thing. And especially with drums and things like that, sometimes I hear drums on music I'm listening to in the background when I'm painting, and it's just too digitalized. I absolutely detest that. I like to hear things that are kind of reproduced by humans, and sometimes you'll get a human, especially when they're like drumming and things like that, they like delay it by a split second, or I'm not a musical person, but I know on some songs as well, you get people sing a lyric and they'll just be like a millisecond behind the music and then catch up with the music. I don't know what it's called. Somebody might better tell me that, but I like things like that. I like imperfections, and that's the same thing with artwork as well. I don't like things to look perfect. Anyway, having said that, so this is not perfect, just like I'm not perfect. So the main colours in this, as you can see, we've got the ultramarine up there, and we've got this kind of almost like a rose colour red here. And at this stage in 93, I was just starting to kind of do some shading from dark to light instead of just doing block colours, which I'd done up to that point. Unusually with this, I've actually mixed this grey myself. I don't usually use grey, but I kind of felt that it wanted something quite bland in the middle of it to make the rest of the painting stand out. I almost kind of think this painting is almost like a dreamlike painting, a dreamlike state, because I've got no idea what it is, but it's something weirdly familiar about it. It's something like, it's a shape that looks familiar, it's a movement that looks familiar, but I kind of gave it this kind of a hue, I suppose, around the edges here to give it kind of like a dreamlike impression, if that's the right word, even though it's very abstract. So that's my explanation for that, if I can ever come up with any explanations. Can't really say the inspiration for it, because I don't really do that kind of inspiration thing. I just have something in my head that I need to paint, and that's it, and I'll replicate it. So there we go. The measurement on this is 22 by 15 inches, if I've not already said, so it's quite an odd size, but I think I cut the paper to actually fit the design, to be honest. I knew it wanted to be kind of elongated, And yes, that's what I did. Pretty thick paper actually, as usual, acid tree, so it's lasted pretty good, and this forms part of my personal archival that has been on show quite a few times. Haven't got a title for it. I'd probably call it spinning or something like that. I think it's been called Out for a Spin for a couple of times. It might go out for another spin somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, it had been on show for about 20 odd years. But there we go. So hope you enjoyed seeing that. If you've got any comments or anything you want to say about it, good, bad, indifferent, don't really care. I always respond to most things. So let me know your thoughts on that one, and I'll see you in the next video. So you take care, and I shall see you soon. Cheerio. Bye.